Last weekend, the World Cup started things off in Kuusamo or Ruka, Finland, for the first World Cup stop of the year. We had a classic sprint to start off this 3-day of mini tour racing. Check out number 5 here, Stensith. She's quickly becoming, I think, my favorite female double polar. She's got super fast, high hands and high hips. A great example of a climbing gear, and then right into a running stride. See how stable she maintains during that transition? No time lost at all. Maiken was able to pass and go on to the win, but our U.S.'s own Sadie Bjornson had an awesome finish. Great double pull, and more importantly, a great lunge. You can see good example of lunging technique here. She puts the head back, full weight back, and head back, and that was enough to give her just the slightest advantage at the line. That's about as close as it gets, but it's because of that head back and full weight back within that lunge that gave her that advantage. Moving on to the guys' race, it was no surprise to see who was in the final. We got folks like Klæbo, Iversen, Bolshinov. Bolshinov is a great double polar, good example of climbing double pole here. Funny to note, look at that track change, just barely clips Klæbo's skis. In the U.S., that might be a disqualification. We tend to have TDs that really follow the rules very closely here in the U.S., but it just goes to show you that you can have a little nuance with the rules on the World Cup. And now into the hill, we can't ignore Klæbo's style run here. Again, we've talked about his technique before. It's not that he's moving his arms and legs any faster. He's just getting off the ground that much quicker than everybody else. And you can really see that here. It's pretty impressive to be able to ski up this hill without slipping. It's a lot steeper than it looks on video. And the reason he can do that is because he's throwing that foot down right underneath his hips. And watch how stable his shoulders and upper body stay. They don't move an inch as he climbs that hill. So it's just that combination of a quick kick and stable shoulders. Now on to some distance classic technique. Therese Johaug of Norway is taking the victory on the women's side. You can see snow falling, maybe some challenging kicking conditions, but look at Johaug go. I like this clip because it's an uphill herringbone shot, but you can see it only focuses on her upper body. And look, you can't really tell the difference between a striding upper body motion and her herringbone because she doesn't rock her shoulders back and forth, and she just keeps her hands pretty high in front of her and just maintains momentum. I think it was Johaug's herringbone technique that allowed her to excel on a day like today. Look at this perfect herringbone technique. Body position is high, hips are forward, very light on and off the skis. You can see where others are struggling and slipping, she just kind of dances up the hill. Now on to the men's winner, Iivo Niskanen. He's a skier that always relies on just a really perfect body position while he's striding. Check out this clip over the top of this hill. It's a short one, but you can see that Iivo stays really high and is nailing his kick, while Klæbo behind him is actually, you can see, he's getting tired and bobs in the shoulders more. And that's what makes Iivo so good at skiing, is even when he gets tired, he maintains that good classic forward body position. And you can really see that here. This is an absurdly steep hill, but somehow Iivo's able to stay in the track all the way up. He must have some really good kick, but he's also relying on that nice body position, which prevents him from slipping. Allows him to use less energy climbing that hill, can stay in the track the whole time, and then now lengthens things out nicely over the top as he begins to glide more. Some skate ski review during the women's pursuit. Johaug out in front takes the victory. Sadie Bjornson had an amazing race. But let's take a look at Heidi Wang here in the front. She's leading this chase pack. I really like her technique, especially this climbing technique into the finish. So this is at the end of a 10K. And what Heidi's doing a good job here is she's showing that you can have a high-tempoed V1 but without really jump skating. You'll notice she's not really jumping off of her feet, and that's because, it can be hard to jump skate at the end of a 10K. Your legs are going to be cashed, but she's relying on that super fast arm retrieval, bringing her arms up really quickly and being able to land with her ski in an accelerating position that allows her to maintain that kind of quick tempo and fast skiing up that hill. On to the men's race. Let's check out a little V2. You can see that Niskanen and Iversen here, they're both super stable classic skiers, but so stable in the V2 as well. That's what allows them to ski so efficiently and relax. Look at this high hip position, good knee drive, hands and hips come up very fluid and together. Every ounce of energy and motion is generated down the track, which is super important in V2. No twisting and no wasted lateral energy. As usual, things came down to a sprint finish. Final hill here. Super fast jump V1 skate. It goes to show you that even if you're going to be a pure distance skier, you have to have that velocity these days. So it's a good thing it's December and we are in our velocity strength phase.